Now, we've talked about how hard it is to get fired from the federal government. Now it's time for me to get a little bit rough and talk to you about how easy it is for you to get laid off in this economy. I consider myself a connoisseur of many topics, and I recommend the same for you likewise. Diversify your interests. At present, who can shift their eyes from the current economy? There is a rising number of federal experts that say that recession's on its way. A recession is defined as two sequential quarters with a significant decline in economic activity. And traditionally, researchers have historically said that recessions bring about layoffs, bankruptcy, borrowing cost increase, and an unpredictable stock market. Can anybody say Wall Street's bets? Nevertheless,
there are no good answers here. The reality is the Fed was far behind the curve and stuck to their version of forward guidance for far too long. So the aircraft carrier they're trying to pull a soft landing on is in very rough seas. And as you show, recession is a more and more likely probability. Ultimately, the Fed has a track record of continuing to raise until there really is a clear slowdown. And I expect that to occur, although after this meeting, at a slower pace.
A harsh reality is that sooner or later, in the span of your career with the public sector, you're going to get laid off. And it's not going to be because you didn't work hard enough, because you weren't staying late, or because you didn't do all the great and wonderful things that your company desired you to do as a team player. You're going to get laid off because of rapid growth, and it's the new norm for business, especially digital startups. Now, I just spoke just the other day to my nephew. Hey, nephew. And he works for a startup, but his particular company focuses on providing evaluations for other companies, major corporations, on how best to streamline or increase their productivity. Outsourcing. It used to be back in the day when I worked in a factory myself, I could tell if someone is challenging me. It could be somebody that's sitting beside me, or it could have been a machine or a huge production thing that was pacing or testing how much more work could be done in a specific period of time. And quite typically, that would mean then, I guess, to go back as far as the Industrial Revolution, that machines were to take over. But now we have other players that are involved in work takeovers, and they could not only be sitting just beside you, they could be over there in their home, and that could very well be off in the distance in another country. So what I'm recommending to you is put your ear or keep your eyes on information sites, social media sites like LinkedIn. What are they talking about? Are people saying that they just got laid off from their job? Or maybe they had an application or received a job offer that was rescinded? Keep your nose pointed in the direction for which you want to go. If you find yourself looking all about and wondering where everyone else is, then you're missing the boat. So we're going to focus on the federal government. And in order to do that, you have to understand how vulnerable you are. So we're going to talk about what are some of the signs that you just might be looking at a layoff. Getting your career in order is tough, but not when you stay with me all the way to the end. Watch, pause, write it down, rinse and repeat. I say make sure that you know the signs that are in your future working for the public sector. So here they are. 1, a hiring freeze. If an announcement comes over saying that there's going to be a hiring freeze, that there's going to be no new positions, and that some of the work for those positions that were needed to be filled is coming your way, do not turn a blind eye. The worst may be yet to come for that company. When there are abrupt shifts in business models, a business can pivot in order to be more productive, but it also can be a sign of desperation or innovation. Listen to that water cooler talk and get ready for a transition. Your mother wit will tell you if it's a good or a bad vibe. If you sense that this disturbance is the force that's not with you and it becomes awkward in meetings, unnecessary and evasive questions that aren't answered, this may be the tea leaf in your coffee. And don't brush it off. Brush up your resume. Or, as I said with the federal government, your resume builder. Working for a major corporation, pay attention to those earning reports. Bloomberg News, love it. CSNB, CBSN, I can't think of the name of it. Watch it. Snoozing on your quarterly meeting information is your fault. Pay attention. Find out, are the revenues up or are the revenues down? Get your lingo in gear and know that those missed earning projections or management leaving all of a sudden, you notice that employees and leaders and managers that you once thought were anchors in key positions are retiring and not saying where they're going. You need to hitch up your wagon. Get your career in order, just as you will need to get your finances in order. Don't believe me? Start here. The proof is in the pudding. Your finances matter also when it comes to the federal government. Remember, character, who I am as a person, and characters, what I type in, matter. Like I said, getting laid off is not your fault. There's a big difference between getting laid off and being fired. Take the responsibility to get yourself prepared. Get your finances and your career objectives in order. I've said it here many times. Check it out. The proof is in the pudding. You're here because you're looking for a federal job. And that's what I do. I'm Lisa, and I make it easier for you. Because here I discuss how you can write a competitive federal resume to get your foot in the door and keep it there with me for free. Getting your career in order is tough, but not when you stay with me all the way to the end. Watch, pause, write it down, rinse and repeat. Bye for now.